Hello Pisces, welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If Pisces is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. It is totally free, it doesn't cost anything. If there is anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Pisces, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And here we have the Holy Fool. This is a very fun energy. This is freedom. This is playfulness. This is jubilation. This is a journey, a quest. This is a transcendence. This is kind of like leaving all the troubles of life behind, you know. Let's see what's going on with this energy before we really try to get too detailed with it, because the Fool is someone who is kind of at the beginning of the journey. Well, which journey, right? Which level of the journey? We're kind of at the start of something new. Well, let's take a look around. Whoa, okay. We've got the Eon, judgment, rebirth, reawakening, a baptism by fire. Yeah. We have a 5 of wands. We have an ace of cups. We have the sun card. And a 6 of swords. Interesting. Very nice. Path of the Serpent, we have a 9 of cups, a 4 of wands, the Hierophant, and the 3 of cups. Well, a big celebration coming your way, I gotta say that. This is extraordinary. A lot of really, really good cards. I like that we have the 5 of wands, but then also the 4 of wands, which kind of shows that we may have had to fight for a lot of things in life. I feel like now all that fighting is paying off, okay? The first thing that kind of comes to mind is, you know, when we're getting the rewards of what we're doing, when we're putting in work and we're getting appreciation, we're getting recognition, we're getting the joy and the jubilation from it, like it's working, we're getting that positive feedback, well, we feel even more motivated. We're going to just next day, we're going to go and we're going to do even more of it. You know, it's kind of like you keep getting the praise at work, you keep getting the bonuses or whatever, and well, I'm going to work harder then, you know. What happens when we're not getting those results? What happens when we're not getting, no one's cheering us on? What happens when we don't feel motivated, right? That's when we really need the discipline to keep working at it. That's the real test, you know, of how we can motivate ourselves when no one around us is giving us the pat on the back or the clapping or the rewards or the recognition or the bonuses. How do we still do our very best? And how do we keep showing up every day and doing it, right? I think that's a big part of this. But let's select our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor, infinite and unknown. We're going to set it down right here with our little sea turtle friend. And we're not going to look at that card until the very end, but hopefully it'll tie everything together and give us our confirmation. If at any point during this program you feel like you know what that card is, please put your prediction down in the comments. Let's do it together. Yeah. All right, looking around the room, 1, 2, 3 majors, 4 major arcana energies. First of all, I feel that you are starting a new path. You're being reborn on a higher plane. You're achieving some sort of awakening, some sort of a leveling up, some sort of an enlightenment. You're going your own way. You're starting your own journey, your own quest, right? You're living your own journey here. Because you do not want the Hierophant. Maybe you're trying to unlearn a lot of things that you have learned over the course of your life, conditioning, programming, culture, society, the training, the way that we sort of, the way we've learned how to fit into the world through our upbringing as kids, you know. That's basically what childhood is, right? Kind of learning how to get along in life, learning what the world expects of me so that I can get along in the world as an adult. And that's all Hierophant stuff. This is what you're rejecting right now. I feel like you're being reborn in a kind of innocence, a kind of blank slate. I feel like you're deprogramming or unlearning a lot right now. And I think you're about to level up your life. You're about to go through this doorway that's kind of saying, you know what, I'm ready. I'm ready to follow my own plan here. Okay. Anyway, very, very powerful major arcana energies. And we also have fire and fire. We've got water, water, and water. Yeah, a little bit of air. We don't have any earth cards at the moment because I think that the Fool is not yet ready to come back down to the ground. I think that right now you're feeling free. Your head is in the clouds. And I think that it needs to be for right now, because what you're seeing up there is an opportunity to really change your life. And this is, it's kind of a scary doorway because it's made of fire, right? So it's saying that if you want to go through this, if you want to really become who you're meant to become in life, you got to be willing to leave everything behind. All the BS, all the stuff from your past. You got to leave it behind. Nothing can go through this doorway that is not pure. And the Fool is pure. The Fool is a big fat zero, right? Nothing, empty. I've cleared away all my junk, right? It's somebody that has maybe unraveled all these knots of karma. And the final step is to go through this doorway and leave it all behind, shut the door. Big time closure happening in your life right now. But the closure is really the opening of your future. Right? And closure is a part of it, though, because we see the Four of Wands in the position of the environment. I feel that you've had a lot. You're someone that you have a real connection with animals, right? I feel that it may sound silly, but like spirit animals, or you have a weird ability to like communicate with animals or something like this. Yeah. It's going to take effort for you to go through this doorway. But what's on the other side of it is that Sun card. Okay. Now, the Eon card is that fiery doorway of change. It's a decision that you have to make. And it's kind of like the Fool is ready. The Fool doesn't really want to think too much about it. This might be a situation that if you really were to think about it, you might convince yourself not to do it. Because that's what the mind likes to do. The mind will give you two equally viable options and then say, figure it out. Well, let's figure it out. Let's spend the next 30 years trying to calculate it. Where the Fool just says, don't know, don't care, going through the doorway. Sometimes a decision like this is better when we don't think about it. Sometimes it's better to just sort of leap into it. But you know it's going to cost you. You know you're going to have to leave things behind you. This is a purity and an innocence going through this doorway. It's kind of like we're entering the womb again. We're becoming just an unborn child again. And we're being reborn. And we're resurrecting as our true self. Okay? So this is really a very big spiritual renewal for you. But it's a decision that you have to make. I think you're right at the threshold of this big change in your life. And I think that there are practical components to it. I think it has to do maybe with your job or your relationships or your living situation, whatever. But those aren't on the table here. So those are not the focus. There are no earth cards here, right? The one earth card we have is the Hierophant. It's a Taurus energy. It's earth. This is what we're rejecting. We're rejecting any sort of convention. We're rejecting anything that is sort of being shoved in our face and being told, that's telling us this is what you're supposed to have. This is who you're supposed to be. This is what you're supposed to want. Okay? Now, underneath the surface, you've got a 5 of wands here. It's a fighting energy. You have an ability to fight. I think maybe a lot of what you have to let go of is some anger. Okay? And I think that it probably has a lot to do with family stuff. Yeah. But this is also your ability to do the difficult things in life. You know, you're probably ready to kind of go out and make your own way in the world. Yeah. And again, with that Fool energy, if we think too much about it, we're going to end up saying, it's too hard. I'm not going to do it. So we have to, in this case, I think, really close our eyes and leap into the future. Knowing full well that, yeah, we're going to be asked to wrestle with life, to kind of cut our own path through the jungle. Okay. You're somebody that can do that. I think that I'm getting that kind of angry feeling from you. Okay. I think there's a lot of, but I think this is part of what you're letting go of, and this might be the main thing. We got to let go of this. The Fool, not angry about anything. The Fool is really, really empty. Okay, has cleared away all the debris inside. And now we're ready to go through this doorway and be reborn in this new life. Maybe in a new place, maybe as a new sort of version of yourself. Okay. But the 5 of wands, that's going to be important. Behind you, you have an Ace of Cups. Okay. This might be a letting go of the expectations that we've had for other people in our lives. That maybe it's this realization that, it's like what I said at the beginning, how the only one that's really cheering you on is you right now. So putting this behind us is kind of a way of saying, I'm not expecting anybody else to take care of me. I'm not relying upon anybody else's encouragement for me to do this. I don't need anybody to tell me it's okay. I don't need anybody to hold my hand, right? We may enjoy that, but we're sort of letting go of those expectations. It's kind of like Steve Martin in The Jerk. I don't need anything, well, except maybe this ashtray, maybe this telephone, maybe this balloon or whatever it was. But basically, I don't need anything in my life. So the Fool is let go. The Fool has really no baggage, right? No expectation. The Fool honestly has no direction, has no consideration, doesn't care about anybody, doesn't have a sense of self, doesn't even care about themselves. So the Fool is really a feather in the wind, okay? And that's kind of what's going on here, because going through this doorway, this fiery portal to the future, once we get in there, it's kind of going to just like suck us right through, okay? So letting go of maybe past loves, maybe letting go of regrets, letting go of expectations, letting go of kind of everything that we wanted in our life but never got, letting go of disappointments, letting go of bad habits, right? It really is a rebirth energy here. And that sun up top, this is you being reborn. This is a sort of a symbol of your true self, right? I think this is a period of enlightenment for you. Now the sun at the top, you're somebody that you're aware of your potential. You're aware that you have a gift to offer the world. You're here for a reason, and you're a very essential part of the universe. You're here to provide light and life and love to everything around you, as is everybody else, right? We are all stars. We are all suns, right? So the Fool is someone who is willing to clear out all of those knots of karma, to let the light fill us. We have to be completely empty of all of our BS for that spiritual light to fill us up. And then we become full of the spiritual light, and then it starts to shine out from us. And we're able to radiate that light. And we're able to feel our true selves and be our true selves, be the best version of ourselves in this really pure way. It's kind of like it's not us anymore. It's almost like we're getting past our sort of our constructed personality. And we're getting to our true essence. So we're allowing that spiritual light to flow through us. And the fool becomes the magician. That's the work. That's the entire tarot. The fool becoming the magician. The nobody becoming a somebody. But 0 becoming a 1. Maybe the mystery card will be that magician. I hope so. Because that's the essence of this work. And it's kind of saying, no, I'm done being whatever the Hierophant has sort of molded me into. Whatever the world has molded me into. I'm done with just being conforming to the ways of the world, or letting the world sort of change me, mold me into something that I'm really not. So we're letting everything go, and it may be just sort of a spiritual act, but I think there is practical, physical components. But again, we're not seeing the earth energy. This is everything that's happening within you energetically. And you're emerging as your pure self, your true self. And now you're able to radiate your light out into the world. Share your gift. See the path before you. Have clarity about your larger purpose, your larger journey through the cosmos. The sun here is one aspect of the magician. It's sort of showing that the magician is full of spiritual light, and that spiritual light is radiating out from that magician. Okay? What it needs is focus. Just like the fool has no direction, is just a feather in the wind. Well, this is just light radiating in every direction. Right? What it needs is, in a practical way, well, we need our 6 of swords. We need a plan. We need, going forward, after this sort of resurrection, you need a sense of direction. I think that through this process, you're getting a download of kind of what you're meant to do. This is the energy of becoming this true self, becoming this sort of magician, full of light, radiating this light. But the difference between the sun and the magician is, of course, the ability to direct that energy. So the magician's got the magic wand, right? You've got the power, now we need the direction. And that's what this is. This is the plan. This is the harmony within you. This is your own knowledge of self. This is your understanding of your purpose. This is you able to formulate your spiritual self into articulate thoughts. A way to formulate your essence into a word or a phrase, a purpose, right? Something that you can sort of say out loud or write down, It's the divine plan for you. This is your purpose now articulated. And this is the path forward for you. So we're going to be finding our own place. Now we see that with the 6 of Wands, it's a lot of chaos, or 6 of Swords, a lot of chaos. But you've found the harmony in that. It's kind of a crossing the abyss kind of energy. Okay? Going through this absolute breakdown of what we believed in the world, deconstructing our models of the universe, shattering our paradigm, and then finding something that is true and authentic and real for you. Now let's talk about the path of the serpent. And as we do this, I would like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, that didn't help. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. It is totally free. Now, your general energy, 9 of Cups. I think this is happiness. I think for the first time, this is real happiness. This is feeling that you have abundance and a purpose. and joy on the physical, financial, mental, emotional, and the spiritual creative planes. Every dimension of your being now is in harmony, right? 3, 3, and 3. So you're resonating with everything within yourself, with the world around you. This is kind of a card that's saying we're living our dream. We're living our purpose. For some reason, the month of October is important for you, right? Something specific happened in October in your life. I don't know if it's an anniversary or someone's birthday or something like that. Yeah. This is the happiness that keeps on happening. This is the dream that keeps on dreaming. It says you're living your purpose. Yeah. Whatever that is, you know the plan and you're living that. You're working toward that. You're doing this. You don't need anybody else to motivate you. The sun does not need anyone to say, hey, you're doing a good job, buddy. The sun is self-sufficient. The sun is self-luminous, self-radiating, right? You don't need anybody else to encourage you to be the sun. You're generating everything you need within you. Okay? Self-sufficient, self-luminous being. And 4 of Wands in the position of the environment. There's closure, right? And I think that, it is it's putting an end to a previous cycle of your life. It's putting an end to the way things used to be, just as much as the Eon card here is opening a new door, waking you up to your essential person, your essential self, really, your true spiritual personality. That here is just radiating light. Here is where we sort of formulate that personality. But this is true, this is authentic, right? Because it's free of the Hierophant, as much as we can be, relatively speaking. Someone in your family had a stroke very recently, right? I feel like as much as things change, nothing really changes, right? So I don't imply here, Spirit's not implying that the Fool is literally quitting the job, leaving the family, leaving the town, leaving all your possessions, and just wandering off, getting lost in the woods somewhere. That's not what the Fool's doing. This is energetic. This is saying that the things we care about, we still care about. The things that we are responsible toward, we're still responsible toward that. This is an internal, spiritual, energetic awakening. It doesn't mean you got to quit your job. It doesn't mean you're not going to care for your family members. Okay? It does mean that we're experiencing closure and acceptance and going beyond all of the things that have happened to us in our life. It's healing. But it's more than just healing, right? Because healing is kind of like, what is it? It creates scar tissue, right? I feel like we're being regenerated. It's not just healing. It is like a rebirth, okay? It's not just scar. We're not just covered in scar tissue, right? Someone in your family has a lot of horses as well, or you ride horses or something like that. A horse is I see a symbol for you right now. Yeah. This in your environment is, and in terms of your relationships. You may have a lot of the same relationships that you used to have. That's fine, same friends, family, whatever. But they do not have the hold over you that they used to have. They do not have the influence. They do not have an effect on your mood. They don't have an effect on your motivation. Like I said at the beginning, it's easy to feel motivated and strong when, we've got encouragement, we've got the bonuses at work, and we feel motivated every day. We wake up and we're excited. But what about those days when we don't have any motivation? What about those days where we have to be self-luminous, right? And that's something we're intentionally doing. This is a magical circle of protection around you. That's saying the influence of other people, good or bad, is not affecting you. People's praise, it's not making you work harder. People's criticism, it's not making you depressed and you're working less. Either it's not penetrating your aura right now and for the foreseeable future. Okay. So this is really, this is what it's about, you know, especially with that 5. I said there was a lot of anger in you, right? So it's through the relationships we have with other people. Are people making you angry? Is somebody making you feel something? You know? How often do we say that? Oh, you're making me mad, or you're making me sad, or you're breaking my heart, or you're making me feel something, you're making me do something. No one's making you do anything. If somebody is making us feel something, it's because we are not fortified in our magical circle of protection. That we have not established our circle strong enough to protect ourselves against what other people do or say. Okay. Yeah, words hurt, right? I mean, that's what we always hear. And yeah, they do, of course. But we don't have to let them sort of derail our lives, right? So I feel that fool really is experiencing a freedom. The fool is like a mist. You can throw rocks at a mist, right? And you're not going to hurt. You're not going to hit it. Okay? This to me feels very Zen or even very Taoist to me. So I think there is this big spiritual, almost a big spiritual revolution in you right now. I've never quite seen anything like this. The Hierophant is the energy we are rejecting. Conformity. You must be a certain way. You must do a certain thing. This is trying to tell you who you are, telling you what is sacred. Okay. This is the energy you do not want. You want to be self-luminous. You don't want to have to rely on, what your mom or dad wanted you to do with your life, or your friends don't approve, or the world doesn't approve, or the world wants you. The world is going to be very nice to you if you do these things. Well, I'll do more of these things, like a kid. Kid is learning, what do I got to do to fit in? I know when I do these things, mommy and daddy yell at me, so I better not do that, right? I think we're getting away from that. Maybe it is something with your parents. Yeah. But the 3 of Cups at the end, this is celebration. This is just one of the many 3s of the 9, right? 3, 3, and 3. And this is a zooming in on that sort of celebration, the recognition, the praise, right? The love, the appreciation. So it's not that you're not becoming apathetic. You're not becoming so detached that you're not able to experience joy and love, right? And celebration. But that you're not moved by, like I said, you're not moved by the flattery and criticism, as most people are, right? No one's making us feel anything. But that almost gives us a greater capacity to love and experience joy, because it's what we're choosing, because it's something that is self-directed. Yeah. So I think that you are experiencing a much needed revolution in your life that is going to bring about less anger, less frustration, more joy, more beauty, more happiness. And I think that you're able to choose your path forward. You're able to choose what to connect with. You're able to choose what means something to you. Not what you're told is supposed to mean something to you, but what you really feel. The 3 of Cups is like this abundance we feel inside. This love, this desire, this appreciation and gratitude. It kind of is saying what I love, what I want, what I'm attracted to. This is your capacity to connect with life. And now it's something that's coming from within you, from spirit, not from your upbringing, your friends, your parents, blah, 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 right? This is self-directed love. Now let's look at the mystery card. What could it be? Well, magician, right? Maybe a 6 of cups. If you have a prediction, put it in the comments. Let's see what we have. 9 of wands, right? Strength, resilience, relying on ourselves, right? Realizing that whatever we do is because of our efforts. This is you, again, even when no one's there motivating you. You're putting in your best effort. That you are this sort of self-directed, self-luminous, radiant sun. And with that energy is a lot of strength. The strength to pursue whatever it is that you desire in life, whatever your divine plan is. You don't need anyone's approval. You don't need anyone's support or hand-holding. We want connection, we want intimacy, we want love. And you're going to have that, but that is not going to be what determines your effort. Right? That's not going to, you think of somebody who, they get into a relationship, and their relationship's going good, well, then they're doing really well at work. But then suddenly their performance at work starts to diminish. Well, they must have trouble at home, right? And I think that this is really like we're putting in 100%, 110, 120% effort all the time in whatever your mission is, whatever your path is, whatever your purpose is. And we're learning how to not be so moved by all of these other things. There's a real strength, willpower, really is what this is. Yeah. But it's also control. Yeah. Controlling this fiery energy and that frustration and that anger, using that, being able to sort of sublimate that, turn it into hard work, motivation, and determination. Yeah. Big revolution in your life right now. And we're going to do an extended reading. If you want to stick around, there's a link up top. There's a link down below. New readings for Pisces Thursday and Sunday. Be sure to watch both readings. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Leave a comment. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.